up, everyone? Welcome out to another edition of AI Intersection. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how you use prompt engineering to solve very specific issues that you may have or come up with very specified results that you need. Um, in the in the article that I'm going to be sharing with you today, or the use case I'm going to be using, is I want to write an article for my website, which is webdesigns.com. I wanted an article about a website that I developed called henryhenry.net. Let me pull it up real quick. So this is a website I just built and I just released. This website was built on WordPress. I use WooCommerce in this integrations, and this is actually a lot of this website is developed with the aid of very advanced AI technologies. So I want to write. This has got a whole back end. It's an affiliate marketing website. It has a bunch of different generated initially, customized image, logo, and graphic design. This uses a lot of the different skills I have as a front end software developer. And so I want to make an article for my two websites, which if you haven't ever seen them, are webdesigns.com and eddyboscana.com. If you get a chance, come check them out. But I want to do a blog. So here's the use case I want to do. I want to walk you through this because it can get a little complicated, but I want to start it from kind of scratch real quick. So I've got this website that I built, henryhenry.net, and I want to display this work I've done. I want to share it with the world, but I want to share it. So I want to share it with the world in two different places. The first place I want to share it with the world is obviously in my personal portfolio, which is right here. This is my personal digital portfolio. It's where I share information about work I've done, work I'm doing, and kind of my career goals and aspirations. And every time I do things, I want to continuously edit this portfolio and keep it updated with where I'm at in my skill sets as I begin to grow and expand towards my goals. And I also want to share it to my professional website, which is webdesigns.com. I want to share it as a blog article here. So when someone goes to my blog, they can read about it, which I kind of already started here. What you're about the next picture you're going to see is where I kind of already started working on. But I want to have a little blog post so people can come here and read about the blog, read about the article on this website. So basically what I want to do is I want to have a blog article written for both of my websites about henryhenry.net, showcasing my unique talents and skills as a front-end software developer. And then I want to be able to share that. Then I want to share that blog post out with the world through social media. So I could, if I wanted to, come to SoFly Designs and then come here to this site here and write individual blog posts about the website. However, I have a secret weapon, and this is where the power of AI really shines to help streamline your processes. If you're out there trying to figure out how can I get AI to work for me and how can it affect my business, well, this is a great example how. henryhenry.net was co-developed as well, as I told you before. It was co-engineered with powerful AI solutions. Kind of at the core of that was ChatGPT. So to build henryhenry.net, I actually worked alongside a ChatGPT agent I developed called, and it's just simply called affiliate website for henryhenry.net. This is what this chat right here has everything about this project built into it from the very beginning. So this chat right here knows everything about this particular project. So I can ask questions about this project and ChatGPT will know all about it. This is where this is where the step one of the secret powerhouse of AI comes into play. So here I have this chat that's essentially an expert on this particular project because I've used it to co-engineer this entire project. So it's essentially literally an expert on henryhenry.net in the development of this website or web application. So what I can do now because of that is I can come to this agent and I can ask it questions. I can tell it, hey, I want to write a blog. I want us to write a blog article about the development of this site, and um, I want you to write it one for as on my to be placed and written in such a way as to be placed on my personal portfolio, which is going to come out different because it's going to be more about me and my skill sets. And then I also want you to write a blog post that's going to be placed on SoFi Web Designs. So two different blog articles, and on top of that, I'm going to want to have you write excerpts or blurbs about the article on that's going to be placed on my social medias. It's going to link back to the article. Now, I want to take you to the chat and show you what I've done so far in this engineering phase. So if I scroll to the top, you can see I'm going to come not to the top, but I'm up here. I'm going to show you some of the iterations I went through, and then I'm going to show you how I engineered the blog post, the blog, the template. The reason I'm showing you this is because I do actually offer this as a service. I offer customized prompt engineering services. I'll include a link to that in the description of today's video. You can, which actually, I don't know if I can include it in the live feeds, but I'll just show you real quick. If I just go to .com, you can just there, and then you can I'll just pull up my feeds for you so you can see that. This is the gig that I'm doing. It's called I Will Be Your AI Integration Specialist is the name of the gig. Once it loads up, my internet's running a little slow, so be your AI integration specialist. So this video I'm making right now is kind of just essentially walking you through the different services that come with this gig. Let me see if I can just pull it up real quick. Preview. So like I said, I'm going to be walking you through these different services. With this gig right here, I will be your AI integration specialist. I have three different packs. The first is a 45-minute video consultation for $120. The second package is one engineered prompt template for $200, which we'll be going through in today's video, essentially, both of these two. And then there's the premium, which is one complete AI workflow, which includes third-party AI integrations and 3 to 5 engineered prompt templates, and of course, the 45-minute consultation as well. So make sure to check that out. And if you're wondering how this works and how this can integrate into your business, that's what today's video is about, because I want to walk you through that. So let's dive right back into the project. So as I mentioned, I've got this website, henryhenry.net, that I want to create two distinct blog articles for. And the blog articles have to have certain bits of information. If I come over here to the blog post, you're going to see that on this, because this is a WordPress themed website, I am going to need a title. I'm going to need blog content. I'm going to need keywords, key phrases. I'm going to need tags. I'm going to need categories, all these types of things. Now, like I said, I could come in here and manually and do this, but it would take me some time. It might take me 15, 20 minutes to write a decent blog. It could take me an hour or 2 hours, maybe 3 or 4, depending on the context. I think this could probably be a 2 to 3 hour blog article. And then don't forget, I have to do a different blog article for my personal portfolio. It's going to look different. It's going to have a different feel to it, because this is more like for my personal portfolio. So I'm going to have to write a second one. So let's just put that at around 6 hours worth of work to develop all the content. I'm going to need a teaser text for my personal one, all this kind of stuff. So instead of writing it myself, how can we use AI to to streamline this process? Well, thankfully, as I mentioned, I have an AI expert for henryhenry.net. This is the AI used to co-engineer the entire system with from beginning to end. So it means I can ask it about the project. And if I can ask it about the project now, that means I can ask it to write an article about the project because it's the co-engineer. It knows as much about this project as I do. Actually, it actually technically knows more because it's got way more information. So what I'm going to say here is I'm going to say, look, um, this is where I started with this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. So here's a great example. This is I asked it to. Okay, let's just start here. So here I wrote, write me 2 blog articles of for about this project, exploring what it is, explain the technical spec and tech stack, and what type of skills are used to develop and display in for our web development process. Write the blog articles for SoFlyWebDesigns.com and my personal portfolio at aboscanna.com. And then I say, I also need a blurb to share the link to the blog article on my socials, including personal Facebook page, SoFly Web Designs Facebook page, and LinkedIn page. Okay, this is where I started. What I'm about to walk you through right now is, if you look at the Fiverr posting, this is the basic consultation, part of the 45-minute consultation. What we do is we go through whatever the problem that you're having is, and we break it down step by step. We start off with just a general kind of message. We give the first step is give the AI information about the project, specifics that are important to the project. Then we query that data later on in the conversation, and the AI system synthesizes the data we inputted with external inputs to create the content. Now, what you're going to see here is an initial blog article that I got out of it. Now, this is a pretty generic blog article. It's not generic. It's actually a really good blog. It's short. It's to the point. It's not really like detailed like I wanted it to be. Here's the second blog article for EdenAGI.com. Once again, definitely encapsulates some of the basic fundamentals of this project, but it doesn't really encapsulate what I'm going for, which is more of like a detailed explanation. Here it gives you harnessing skills. It gives me the social media blurbs. Then I realized, and this is part of the consultative process, then I realized, wait a minute, we need some more things, because if we go back to my WordPress post type, I'm gonna have to have title, as I mentioned earlier, title, keywords, tags, all this kind of stuff. So then I came back through and I said, well, tell you what, I also want to emphasize a few specific things. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I kind of got out of line here. So what I realized when I was reading this is somewhat vanilla. I will also talk about specific things that I was proud about in this project. Like, for instance, I did a custom logo for this project. So this logo development on Henry or Not, that's something I made. I wanted to point that out. And then I said, I also want to talk about how we used AI generated website design, content, and components, and AI engineered web dev architecture. Okay, I wanted to talk about how we use AI to develop websites and web content. I also wanted to discuss a little more about the customized AI engineered prompt templates and implementation that we used. I want to talk about, of course, our in-person design consultative services, which are incredibly valuable. Um, I wanted to discuss that. I want to talk about how we meet with our clients and we work with our client one-on-one to develop the site in a personalized approach. And then I wanted to talk about our WooCommerce integration, and also wanted to talk about the complementary high-quality stock photography and customized third-party theme integrations that I did on this theme as well. So these were all some key points I want to talk about. So here it goes. Certainly, here's a revised version of the blogs, incorporate the specific elements. And so it gives me a whole another blog. Now, I can tell that this blog is a lot better. It's covering a lot more of the key elements that I want to cover. But it's also very straight to the point and very vanilla. Um, so I wanted to talk about a couple more things that I was I felt like it wasn't highlighting that. I talked about, oh, also, once I built the entire social media infrastructure. Now, see, ChatGPT didn't really know that I did all that because I actually didn't work with it to do that. I just kind of did it. This is a great example of how we provide input, new fresh inputs into the AI system to help improve our outputs. So I said, oh, by the way, don't forget, we did entire this entire social media infrastructure, which included Google Workspace, included major social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok. I said also, I created a customized Google Chrome profile for the user um, to be able to easily access all their tools from one browser window. So that way, when I release a site to them, they can use that site and use all the tools in one Google Chrome experience. It keeps everything nice and streamlined for the client. This is where I talked about that. We also provide a hands-on training and provide the videos for the customers. So the AI says fantastic additions. Let's modify the blogs and add the expected services you provided. So here you can see blog article 1, looking a lot better. It's covering a lot more information, but also very straight to the point. Blog article 2, and there's a social media blurb. Um, then here's where I realized, and this is what I get to about the consultative services that we provide. Then I realized, when I was getting ready to put the article in, that's when I started really thinking about, well, now I still have to write this, like the meta description. I still need to find the keywords. Let's have the AI do that for us. So this is where I added, also I need to add the following for SoFi web designs. Now, then what it came back and it gave me the keywords. Now, if any of you have ever worked with WordPress, you might see a problem here. Well, the problem is the related keywords are in a an ordered list format, which they should be in a comma separated format, and the tags, unfortunately, are as well. Very good information. It did a great job with it, but I said, hey, but I realized right off the bat this might be an issue. Then I said, oh, I also need the teaser text to be placed strategically on both websites. So we need to get a teaser text. It misunderstood what the teaser text was, so I had to clarify what the teaser text was, and I needed to also tell it to separate tags. I said teaser text needs to be a paragraph format, and it needs to be, and the keywords need to be separate commas. So this. Uh, I had to point out the fact that the teaser text needs to be about the respective articles because the original teaser text it gave me is about more like the core principles as opposed to the actual project itself. I'm going through a lot right now, um, so I hope that you're following along with me. What I'm doing right now is I'm just basically showing you how the different iterations and how I got different outputs with different inputs. Then I said, oh, I want the blog articles to be way more. And this is where I told it, I want those blog articles to be way more thorough and even engaging. And remember, we're reaching out, we're trying to show our prowess of web development. And then it gave me really nice looking blog articles here. These are much better blog articles. Goes through a lot. And here's my teaser text for socials. So this is where I got to. Now, how does this work with prompt engineering? As I mentioned, if you go to my gig, the formation, what I do with that is I give you actionable steps with that consultation. If you go with the standard package, I can provide you um, with actual prompt engineered prompt template. And what is that? Well, let me show you. This is part of my prompt library, my prompt template library, and uh, this is a summary of everything I showed you, all those little corrections that I made. What I did is I came in here and I just pasted them along by side. I said, hey, I want you to write me 2 blog articles about this project, explain what it is, explain its technical specs and tech stack, and what techniques were used to develop it, and how to display on our web development prowess. Write the blog articles for SoFly.com and my personal portfolio at edemoscana.com. I want the blog articles to be way more thorough and engaging. Remember, we're showing off our prowess and highlighting our features and technology and service that were part of this project. Yada, yada, yada. I basically put in all of those words, all those phrases that we had. And right here, this is what we call a power prompt. A power prompt is a collection of prompts uh, to produce um, a specified output, or it's in what we call an encapsulation. So an encapsulation means it's a collection of prompts that's encapsulated together and essentially packaged together and given to an AI system to produce a consistent output. Now, what you see right here is what I call a raw prompt iteration, which means this is basically kind of what I need to get the desired output, but it's not going to be the best. Okay, this is a power prompt, but it's not going to be the best. Uh, what we need to do now is take this raw prompt and we need to feed it to a prompt engineer to re-engineer this text so that it's maximally effective. Okay, hopefully you're following on this. So if you look at my standard package here, the one engineer prompt template, this is where we take it to the next level. We engineer prompt. So up here, by giving it to an engineer, an AI engineer to re-engineer the prompt. And I'm going to show you how that works. So I use a platform called Typing Mind. Typing Mind is a very powerful platform. It has got a lot of features. I'm going to do a whole video on Typing Mind about how it works. I'll also have a link to the description of that as well. So make sure to check out, use the link if you want to set it up. This is a paid platform, but it's very powerful. It connects directly to your OpenAI through an API connection. It's specific to your browser. I'm not going to go into many details about Typing Mind tonight, but I want to just show you this is how I'm doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what's called a power prompt template, a prompt template engineer. And I've got a prompt up here called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is my primary prompt that I use to engineer prompts. So think of it this way: instead of me trying to figure out the best prompt to give to an AI system, I ask an AI system to engineer the best prompt, and then I use that prompt as my prompt injection, my engineered prompt injection. Follow me on this. If that was a little much for you, I'll walk you through that process right now. So this is my current raw iteration of this. Hello, I'm seeking your expertise as my prompt engineer. Please help me refine and improve my prompt idea. The goal is to create the perfect prompt that captures the essence of my message and resonates with my intended audience, and or helps me accomplish my goals and objectives. After I share this with you, I need you to provide a suggested re-engineered prompt that builds upon my original prompt idea and encapsulate my ideas. I'm not going to read this entire thing. You can pause and read that if you'd like to, but basically I can put in a goal of what I'm trying to do, and then here I'll put in my prompt idea. Now, and then I tell it that it needs to provide me back a re-engineered version of that prompt. This is my latest engineered prompt iteration version, actually an engineered version of that. And that's what I use to engineer this actual prompt template. So let me go back over here to the chat. So yeah, so now I can take that prompt, that engineered prompt, and I can feed it into the system, which I'm going to show you how that works in a moment as well. So now that I have, and this is my final output. So what I can do now is take this information and I can take this over. So now you're going to get to see how this actually works in application. So this prompt here, I'm going to go back to my editor, and this is what I'm going to be using for this blog post. So I'm going to replace that header with that. And then I'm going to go take this whole article and I'm going to post it here. I already have my, I'm going to leave that header. I like that header that I had on there already. But much better blog post. Really goes through the details of what we worked on this project and why it's significant. So very happy with that. Let's go ahead and go back over here. Let's see if we can find our. This particular response is not. I didn't actually use the re-engineered template. So right now it's kind of different places. But I'm going to show you how I can now use this template to write other articles as well, much faster. So that one's done there. So we're all set with that. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. I've already done all the rest of this, but now we can come here and take a look at blog posts, and you'll get to see the finished product. I hope I didn't all that. I know we went through a lot of information today about this topic. Definitely go back and watch it again. Take some notes. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. I do complimentary consultations. You can find that link to that on my website at the bottom called, and it's just schedule a complimentary 15-minute consultation, or click on the contact button, and you can reach out to me directly through social media as well. I, I'm still working on a couple of things on this. So let's go back and take a look, see how our post looks now. Boom, there we go. And there's our blog. There's that nice, beautiful blog article about this project. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to my other website. Let's go to. Let me just pause the screen for a minute. Give me a second. Need to go to my site editor real quick and just pull this up. Bear with me for a moment. Sorry about the delay, guys. I just need to pull up my site editor real quick. I'm also going to show this to my feed. Share. Those of you who are watching live, I apologize for the delay. Just do this. Okay. All right. Yes. So I'm now back live with you. Okay. So let me go ahead and get you back sharing my screen real quick. Okay. So let's get back on track. For those of you who are watching live, my bad for taking so long on that, but I need to pull up my website before. So now that I've showed you create these blog posts, and I showed you how I can integrate that into my WordPress installation. Now I'm going to be showing you how. I don't know if am I sharing my screen? It says I am, but it hasn't asked what I want to share yet. Stop sharing. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Let's, Okay, I'm back with you. Okay, into the edit on the personal. So those of you who've been watching live, you just saw me go through and edit the WordPress installation. Cool, no threads found. So I was showing you how we use the AI system and customized prompt templates to basically create customized blog articles about this website, henryhenry.net. And we already did the WordPress one. So now I'm going to show you kind of how I would go through and work on the personal portfolio. Now, the personal portfolio I'm building for myself is actually built on Google Sites. I'm in the early transitions of moving this over to WordPress, but it's going to take some time. And I kind of like Google Sites right now for this particular project because it's just a little easier to get up and running, and it's also doesn't have as many complications in the back end. Less can go wrong with a Google site than a WordPress installation. And I like using more kind of like robust solutions for certain projects like my personal portfolio. You know, it's better to not have it necessarily. There's pros and cons. So I'm just going to give you an example of how I would, obviously the cons are the article management for Google Sites is just not efficient. So this is why I'm in the process right now, moving over to WordPress for this. But I'm going to start with adding a subpage, and we're going to go back to our AI chat. So this is the customized blog post that we created for henryhenry.net. It says crafting cohesive digital experiences, the journey of henryhenry.net. I'm going to take that over to my personal blog, and I'm going to create a new title with that, new page. And then I'm going to come back to my chat, and let's go ahead and grab the blog article. Okay, so once again, this blog article has been custom engineered directly by this AI system that is essentially an expert on henryhenry.net, because I use it to co-engineer the actual site itself. So this is a nice, succinct blog article about henryhenry.net. I'm going to go ahead and add an image. Actually, I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to go ahead and add a new header, just like a title image, a title text. And let's go ahead and just add an image just real quick. All right, and like I said, pros and cons of Google Sites. Google Sites really come a long ways, but still a lot lacking, like in specific like more broader range applications like article management, those types of things. Obviously, formatting too can be a little bit of more of a headache. But yeah, there you go. That's that blog article that we created with the specifically for my portfolios. This talks more about like, well, more of like a perspective from my perspective, as opposed to more of a corporate perspective, which is what I have on SoFly Web Designs. So let's go ahead and publish this. So we're going to take a look at both of them just to see how they look. I mean, the title looks kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. I don't really know if let's just take a look how it looks, see how. Articles. Actually, let me go back. Before we do that, we need to put our teaser text. This is one of the downsides of working with Google Sites. The teaser texts aren't automatically added, so I need to go in and manually do this. So those of you who are web developers out there, don't laugh at me for doing this. It's just It just I wasn't planning on my personal portfolio expanding as fast and rapidly as it has, so it kind of got out of control very fast. So I am in the process of moving it over, but there's a kind of other priorities I have going on that are kind of taking that project on right now. I'll probably just end up working with some developers so we can just move it over. There's some ways I can streamline that process, but it's growing pretty fast. So unfortunately, I'm going to come here. I'm going to go to insert new section, and we're going to make this one about, I'm just going to move this to, see, this is another thing about Google Sites. This is just not going to be as manageable over time. We're going to use that screenshot we took. And then I'm going to put a title here. Where's our title? Well, we have our title here. You can see how there's still some legwork that needs to happen, uh, but um, but it is moving in the right direction. You know, you're the goal here is with AI is you're wanting to streamline more and more processes as you go along, and that's a process that takes time to unfold. Um, Here's the teaser text that we engineered. Jonas says, we're going to put this for, this is for my personal site, AI and personalized web crafting. Yeah, I like this one more. The art of creating a digital ecosystem. Okay, so I'm going to put this and say read more. Once again, all this would be handled by WordPress. Unfortunately, right now I'm just doing it this way. Let's just see here. Henry, crafting a cohesive. No, there we go. Apply. Okay. And publish. So now that should look pretty good now. All right, so now let's take a look at the sites. So if we go to articles, you can see here's that teaser text. Once again, generated. This is primarily generated by AI. A lot of this. Got the read more, takes you directly to the article. So this is a nice little article on my personal portfolio going over this project of what I did. And then if we come back to SoFly Web Designs, let's take a look at this. Go to the SoFly Web Designs blog. Now we have this awesome looking little intro to it. And then we have the actual article. There we go, looking good. All right, so this tells you to book a complimentary strategy session now, and that is looking nice. All of this is custom engineered. It's going to work great on SEO value, and saves so much time. Like I know that seemed like a pretty exhaustive process, but if you're going to do your own custom blog article for everything you're doing, it can take a lot of time. Now remember, this is only the first time. Now moving forward, because I've engineered this prompt template, I've got a very powerful prompt template that I can use moving forward to create any other future articles. So now I can take these now I can be like, oh, I got a new project. Boom. I'll just take this engineered prompt template. I'll feed it in there with my new information for whatever the new blog post is about, and I'll automatically have automatically have my blog post and all the related information sent back to me in a matter of seconds. So you can imagine how uh, it's worth the time to take to engineer processes. Whatever the process is, it's worth it, because this is a layered approach. And a lot of people think you have to understand that when you're working with your AI systems, that this is a layered approach. You're building layer upon layer. You start with a prompt, then you create a power prompt, and then you take that power prompt and you feed it and you create, you feed it, you encapsulate it and create a prompt template. Then you take that prompt template and you encapsulate that and engineer into a prompt, into a action. You take a raw prompt template and then you engineer into an engineered prompt iteration. Then now, if you think about what I can do here, now I could say, oh, what if I want to add more sites? What if I want to create different blog posts for different sites? Like I've got a couple other sites. Like I've got an AI intersection. I've got several other sites. What if I want to swap out the names of the sites? Uh, and maybe I want to do it. Maybe I want to do this for 10 or 20 sites. Then what you can do is once you've got a system that's robust where it can encapsulate a lot of different projects. Now what you can do with that is you can actually combine those, and you can have an AI automatically generate use these prompts to automatically generate content. And this is where you can bring in auto GPT that can scale this. Imagine, for instance, let's say you are managing 1,000 blogs, or let's keep it realistic. Let's say you're managing right now. Let's say you're writing content for 10 blogs. Some people, that's all they do for a living. They sit there and work on 10 different blogs a week, okay, or different places a week, and they want to get they don't you can't duplicate the content, but you want to sometimes reuse the content or change it up a little bit. Well, now you can engineer a prompt template or multiple templates that share commonalities, and then you can actually autonomously push that data out to multiple places. And that's what we're doing with this. So that was just a very long video going through um, how this process works. Because those of you who are out there who are, really wanting to crush it in the digital landscape and marketplace, are looking for ways to make your systems more efficient, to reduce redundancy, and increase proficiency in the work that you're producing. And that's what prompt engineering is the best at. So, and now I'm going to just kind of wrap things up. Now you can see where I don't want to use my teaser text. And now I can take this teaser text. This is from my Facebook/LinkedIn for SoFly Web Designs. I can take this and copy that, and then I'll just use that for my social posts. So some of you guys who follow my social posts, you'll see these come up. That's kind of how that happens. I'm in the process right now of training an AI system to now take this and push it automatically out into my social feeds without me ever having to touch it. But that's a whole different story for a whole nother video. So I know this was a very long, arduous, and data-filled video, but hopefully you got a chance to see what I'm doing and how the whole process works. And hopefully, while you've watched this, you've been thinking about ways in your own business how we can use prompt engineering to increase your efficiency and your processes and make you better at what you're doing. Like I said, make sure to check me out on Fiverr. This is the gig that's called "I Will Be Your AI Integration Specialist." Reach out to me if you need a link to this particular gig. Happy to get it to you. There are 3 different packages. There's the 45-minute video consultation. That is $120. So that includes consultation where we actually go through your processes. We talk about things, and then I provide you with an actionable step to go along with that. The second level is where you can do one engineered prompt template, and you saw how we do that engineered prompt template. We go through an iteration phase where we iterate and we try to come up with the best strategy for your particular scenario, what you're working on, and then we take all those components and combine them together into a raw prompt template, which is a way to encapsulate data as you send it into an AI system. Um, and then we use an engineered prompt template that is engineered to engineer prompt templates to then engineer you an actual custom engineered prompt template that you can use for for your purposes whenever you need it. Now, instead of you having to write those blog articles, those 10, 15, those 2, 3, 5, 10 articles, you can now use an AI to do that, or whatever the task is you have to do. If you're having to do a lot of data input, you're having to write a lot of reports, we can build prompt templates to autonomously build those reports for you so you can save you time. So imagine now, instead of you spending 20 hours a week filling out TPS reports or whatever your report is, you can have your AI autonomously do that and do it with not only as good a proficiency as you, but actually superior proficiency, and actually have more of a superior output. You can use this for writing code. You can use this for streamlining processes in your business, your automations as well. So that's what the one engineered prompt template is for. And then the premium package is 3 to 5 engineered prompt templates uh, that integrate alongside of a third-party AI resource. So imagine if you're using Midjourney to produce images, or you're trying to create a specific style of image, or you're trying to create an output in a data, like a database, or whatever the output you need done. We can incorporate a third party AI tool to help do that, and then we use our 3 to 5 engineered prompt templates that we've engineered together to essentially utilize that third party AI solution. So if you're using Air AI or Jasper or whatever it is, we can create customized templates to basically create the workflow from A to Z. So think of basic as just the consultation portion, where we go through, break down the systems, and I give you actionable advice. Second is where I help you actually engineer a custom prompt template to solve a very specific problem you have. And then think of the premium of, hey, how do I automate a complete workflow from A to Z? Not even A to Z. It might be AMO. It might not be every single thing you want done, but it can be a complete workflow that happens to also integrate an AI, a third party AI um, solution as part of your AI technology uh, uh, tech stack. Now, um, yeah, so that's what that's for. So hopefully this video kind of broke that down a little bit for you. If you're watching, people have been asking me how this works, how they can see this work and for what they're doing. And I, the main point is I want to make sure you see that general flow of how we move from idea inception to the consultative approach, how we break down your systems into smaller parts, and then how we can build templates we can engineer templates to handle those functions for you. Because this can scale a lot, and including we can build AI systems that can autonomously do everything for you. But this is kind of like the foundational principles for how we engineer those systems, and it can be very extensive and also very expensive to do this. So, what I recommend to all my clients is the best approach is to go through all three of these services. If you're working with me for AI integrations, I recommend go through all three of the services. Start with the basic. Let's do a 45-minute consultation where we go through everything. Okay, and we just, I'm not going to go through everything again, what we're going to do, but start there. And then let's move up to the standard. The standard is where we really start dialing in, and we start coming up with very specific goals, right? And we break those goals into bite-sized pieces. And then I recommend move to the premium, and that's where build we can build entire workflows that go around that. So you can see how these services can be very valuable if we do them in the right order, because we're going to get a lot more out of you're going to get the most bang for your buck by using all three services in that order than you were if you had me just come in to build you a premium AI workflow. It's not going to be as efficient. It might take us longer or more attempts or iterations over the long haul by doing that process. Although it is what it is, well, we're going to be engineering this for you, but it definitely would not be a bad move to go ahead and go with all three of the services one at a time in a sequential order that they're listed, and that's a great way to begin to really integrate this workflow and an AI technology stack system into your workflow, your existing workflow, whatever that is. So I know I talked a lot today about a lot of things. I hope it made sense to you if you're out there watching and you've been curious about how this works. Um, this video is for you. So until next time, everybody, happy coding, and I'll talk to you soon.